In a small, peaceful village nestled between green hills and flowing rivers, there was a mysterious forest known as the Whispering Forest. No one knew why it was called that, but every evening as the sun dipped behind the trees, strange whispers would carry on the breeze, sending chills down the spines of those who dared to listen. One day, three curious friends, Avi, Neha, and Rohan, decided they would solve the mystery. They were all about 12 years old and had grown up hearing stories about the forest from their grandparents. Some said it was haunted by the spirit, while others claimed a hidden treasure was buried deep within. But the whispers were real, and the children were determined to find out the truth. "We'll go at dusk," Avi said, the leader of the group. He was the bravest and always up for an adventure. Neha, who was the smartest, agreed. "But we should take supplies, a flashlight, snacks, and maybe a rope, just in case." Rohan, the most cautious of the three, wasn't so sure. What if we get lost? Or worse, what if the whispers are dangerous? "Don't worry," Avi reassured him. "We'll stick together." That evening, with their backpacks full of supplies, the trio set off towards the Whispering Forest. As they approached the edge, the sun was setting, casting an orange glow over the trees. The first whisper reached their ears, a soft, almost musical sound. But it wasn't words they could understand. It was more like a distant song. "Did you hear that?" Neha whispered, her eyes wide. Avi nodded. "That's the sound. It's coming from deeper in the forest. Let's go." They ventured inside, the trees growing taller and thicker the further they walked. The air was cool, and the ground was soft with leaves and moss. Every few minutes, the whispers would return, always from a different direction. It felt as if the forest itself was alive, watching them. After walking for what felt like hours, they stumbled upon an old stone well hidden among the trees. It looked ancient, covered in vines and moss. Rohan, curious, peered inside. "It's empty," he said. "Just darkness." Suddenly, a stronger whisper came from the well, clear enough that they could almost make out words. "Help us?" Neha gasped. "Did you hear that? It's asking for help." Avi, always the bold one, leaned over the edge. "Maybe someone's trapped down there," he said, looking concerned. "We can't just leave," Neha added, her curiosity piqued. "What if it's someone in need?" But Rohan shook his head, fear creeping into his voice. "Or it could be a trick. We don't know what's down there." Avi made up his mind. "We have the rope. Let's lower it down and see." They quickly tied the rope to a nearby tree and lowered it into the well. Avi, being the lightest and bravest, volunteered to climb down. As he descended into the darkness, the whispers grew louder, more distinct. They weren't menacing, they were pleading, as if whoever was down there had been trapped for a long time. When Avi reached the bottom, his flashlight illuminated a small, hidden chamber. To his surprise, there wasn't a person, but a glowing stone floating in the air. The stone pulsed with light, and around it were carvings on the walls, ancient symbols that seemed to shift as he watched. "Avi, what do you see?" Neha called from above. I don't know," Avi replied, his voice echoing in the chamber. "There's some kind of glowing stone. And these carvings, I think they're the source of the whispers." Curiosity overcame him, and he reached out to touch the stone. As his fingers brushed its surface, a surge of energy shot through him, and suddenly the whispers became clear. "We are the guardians of the forest," a gentle voice said, "entrusted with its secrets and magic. Long ago, we were bound to this stone to protect it from those who would misuse its power. But over time we grew weak, and the whispers you hear are our calls for help. Only the pure of heart can free us." Avi was stunned. "How can we help you?" "Take the stone to the light of the moon," the voice instructed. "It will break the curse." With renewed determination, Avi climbed back up, the glowing stone in hand. He explained everything to Neha and Rohan, who were both amazed and a little scared. They hurried to a clearing in the forest, where the full moon shone brightly. As the moonlight touched the stone, it glowed brighter, and suddenly a soft breeze swept through the forest. The whisper stopped, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves. The stone dissolved into a shower of sparks, and for a moment the air was filled with a warm, peaceful glow. The forest felt different, lighter, freer. The curse was broken. When they returned to the village the next day, they found that the legend of the Whispering Forest had already begun to change. No longer did people fear it. Instead, it became a place of wonder, a reminder of the ancient magic that lived in the world, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to listen. And the three friends? They had become heroes in their own right, keepers of the forest's greatest secret.